Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lattes on My Mind.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Felina. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about, in honor of the 4th of July coming up, we're talking about women of the American Revolution.
Oh.
Yeah, some interesting stories out there, Felina.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so grab those lattes and join us for the journey.
How the heck have you been, Hannah?
I've been the same. I've been great. I've been good. Sure.
I've been great. I've been good.
I've been great. I've been
sure.
good. I've been, I don't know. I really don't know, guys. I've been busy.
She's been busy.
I always like to make myself extra busy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Trying to pick up all these little, odd jobs here and there.
She'll be drowning, and then she'll be like, I should start a business.
I should start a business. Exactly.
Yes.
That's how I roll, man. I don't know
how
why.
it be. I saw this thing. It was on TikTok, and it was like, my ADHD brain, when I'm already overstimulated, and it was like, we're no more bread. We're not buying bread. We're making all of our bread. Sourdough, in fact. And then I was like,
gosh,
we should have a baby. It was like, what if I just started raising chickens?
Oh my gosh.
Knowing nothing about chicken. And it was just like, yes.
Yeah.
Accurate.
100%. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That's me right now.
Yeah. That's always Hannah.
Yeah.
That's Hannah always.
Like, I'm so busy. I'm going to cry and die. But what else can I do?
But I'm too busy. I'm going to die.
It's a real
Maybe
business.
I should make bread.
I don't know. Do something.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just kind of,
Yeah.
that's just where we be.
You know who else was making bread, though, probably?
Who? The women of the American Revolution.
Exactly.
The revolution.
La revolution. La revolution.
La revolution.
I think that was the French one.
Yeah.
But as you guys know or should know, guys.
Well, we're not all homeschooled, Hannah, so give us some grace.
No, but it's not about homeschooled. It's about that this is America's 250th birthday.
Oh, you should know that. If you don't know that by now, you're living under a rock.
Yes, but what's weird to me is that the Revolutionary War went beyond 1776. I was like, why is it? But it's because the Declaration of Independence
was signed in
1776 and approved upon on the 4th. So that is why.
4th of July.
And that is why the 4th of July. Because I'm like, but they're still fighting and it's past 1776.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because.
But it's because the Declaration was signed.
It was the Declaration because we said we shall no more be under yon rule. And what better way to celebrate for us than to talk about women? Because we are two American women.
We are two American women.
Yeah.
Also, she's ugly. No.
Yes.
No. Also, I was just looking it up, and you're right. It's literally the 4th of July is in 2 days for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you saying she's ugly?
That's the thing. It's another TikTok thing where it's like you're gossiping with the one quiet friend, and she goes, and also she's ugly. And it's like, well, now I don't think that we really need
Is that when the husband chimes in?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And
also she's ugly.
I thought you were talking about some of the women. I was like, they really were.
Oh,
they really
so
were.
sorry.
They really were ugly. No, it's true. They were.
Looks wise or personality wise?
No, they're pretty. They're pretty cool women.
It was
the 1700s.
The 1700s.
Well, and some of them specifically looked like pretty bad. But
like men?
That's okay. Like men.
Maybe they were.
Men.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun. Which brings us to our first girl.
Ooh, tell me about her.
Speaking of men.
Oh.
Yes. We'll tell you why.
I'm confused.
All right. I shall tell you why you're confused. Okay. Her name was Deborah Sampson. Debbie. All right. We're going to start with Debbie.
Little Debbie.
Born December 17th, 1760 in Massachusetts. Our girl.
Massachusetts.
She's not.
We should take a road trip to Massachusetts.
Oh,
we
Salem.
Really should.
I know. I want to go to Salem.
Really should. We should compile all of the
all
topics
the
we've
stories
done that have happened in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
and then just drive around.
Well, I think it's because it was one of the first colonies.
Yeah, that's true.
So, colonies, states, I guess. Mm-hmm. But Boston. It was Boston one? No.
It was colonized quickly.
It was colonized quickly. We'll just say that. Mm-hmm. Okay. This girl had 6 siblings, Felina. Okay. So she is.
Is she the youngest or the oldest? Or in the middle somewhere? You don't know.
I think she's. I did read. I think she had 1 younger. I think she might have been the 6th or something.
Okay.
She had quite the family tree, tracing back all the way to the Mayflower, like you. So maybe you're related to her.
Maybe.
As in, like, when they sailed over.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you were the... Mayflower was different than the first, wasn't it? Or was it the Mayflower? That came over to Roanoke?
I don't know.
I don't either. We're bad.
I
think the Mayflower was Jamestown. But anyway, so even though she had quite the family tree, her family faced financial hardship, okay? It didn't pass down to them, whatever the case. They were a prominent family, but they had no money.
Okay.
Even more so impoverished after Deborah's father.
Because they moved to America.
100%. Well, I mean, they were already in America.
Oh, never mind then.
But I mean, they did move at one point, like 100 years before this or whatever. But even more so impoverished because their father decided to leave, disappeared.
That heifer.
Possibly at sea, but they think he disappeared for a while just because he wanted to get out of there.
Because there were 6 children.
There were 7 children. Seven children, technically.
He said, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah. Well, you did, apparently.
Except that.
Except that
you know how babies are made.
Yeah. You were part of the process, sir. Mm-hmm. So because of this, the mother had to disperse her and her siblings among different homes, relatives' homes, and things like that, or other people's homes.
She was like, I'm outnumbered.
I'm outnumbered. I can't. Well, she couldn't take care of them.
Yeah.
Like, especially at that time, like, what does she do financially?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
she's a woman.
Yeah. She's a woman. She can't do anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it was like. So she goes to different homes. I think she's in a few different ones. And then she becomes something called an indentured servant.
Oh.
Have you heard of this? To Jeremiah and Susanna Thomas from the ages of 10 to 18. So essentially you agree to work for someone for like a certain amount of time. And then at the end you're finally like free. But like, I guess they like house you and like
feed you.
And then you do whatever they need you to do. Yeah. That sort of thing. So she was educated along the way with the families. Like she was very much like loved learning. So she would like read all the books and like, I don't know if she taught herself to read or like they kind of taught her and then she kind of like, it, you know, like expanded upon that. But she was also like really skilled at different things. Like people were even saying like she would make, I think it was like pie crimpers and things and like sell them from house to house.
Oh, wow.
Very industrious. Very
she was skilled.
She was
a
skilled
lady.
Okay. So later she becomes a teacher and a weaver. After she leaves her servanthood. Okay. So she gets out of the servanthood at 18.
She's like, I
she
got some money now.
Yeah. I think it was like she taught in the summer as a teacher and then she was a weaver in winter, which I think is interesting because usually we would do like the opposite. It feels like be a teacher in the winter.
But did we have school in the winter back then?
No, I don't think so.
Because they didn't have the provisions to get to school because it was too cold.
Yeah.
Especially in Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah. It would be freezing your butt off.
Yeah.
For real.
So I could see them, instead of having a summer break, they have a winter break.
But then the summer break, like you think, because lots of kids were farmers. Well, I guess they would have been taken out of school by then. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. But that was her job. Okay. However, apparently she was not satisfied with this job.
And apparently she never really liked her job.
She never really wanted to be a teacher and weaver. So as the war continued on, in 1782, she took on the name Robert Shirtliff.
She was a man.
And entered the 4th Massachusetts Regiment as a patriot soldier.
Little Debbie became Sir Robert.
Sir Robert. Yes, Bobby. So she went to New York and she was assigned to light infantry. Now, I read or listened somewhere that she was like actually like 5'7", so she was pretty tall.
Pretty tall for a woman.
She was tall for a woman and like taller than some of the average men at that time, apparently. So apparently you had to be like 5'5" to enter the army. So even that I guess was
check.
I'm that tall. Yes.
She said I can join the NBA.
Exactly. Well, and here's the thing, like, yes, there were some things like, oh, she was entering because she was a patriot and she wanted to fight. And I was like, yes, but she also just really needed money. And like at that time, if you signed up and went to war, they would give you like a they called it a bounty, but it's not really a bounty. That's like what you get for joining the army at that time. It's called a bounty.
Okay.
So like
the paycheck.
Yeah, like your enlisting fee or like your enlisting bonus or whatever. I don't know, whatever. But she tried to actually enroll before this as I forget something Thatcher. She tried to do Charles Thatcher or something.
Okay.
But
she got declined.
She didn't get declined. They gave her the money, but then she decided not to show up. So they so she went on a little shopping spree, and I think she had to end up like paying it back because they found out.
Yeah.
But then she went to another like town and did it, and then like actually entered the service. So
she's like, I actually need the money.
She's actually like, yeah, I could use the 60 pounds. So, and when she went to I think it was in not Manhattan. somewhere in, oh no, she joined in Massachusetts, and the recruiter there was like urgently trying to fill his quota. So he probably wasn't like vetting people like crazy anyway, but he was like, okay, cool. So she went to New York as she was assigned to light infantry. And so they are like scouting neutral territory, like, you know, all that sort of thing, assessing things.
Here's my question. How'd she disguise her monthly visitor?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. It did say she was rather flat chested as it was. So she like wrapped herself too.
Like, like I figured.
I don't know. It didn't say anything about that.
How do they disguise that?
That's a very
Mulan
good
is a true story. How'd she disguise that?
I don't know. That's a good question. Because they didn't have feminine products.
No.
What was she doing? That's a good question. Now I want to know.
I need to know.
I need to know this.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it did say, it was like saying, however else she like hid her gender is not revealed, except that she like did tie herself, but like she was kind of flat chested anyway, so it wasn't like
I could never get away with that.
I could never.
I could never.
Let's just say it could never be in the.
It could never be me.
Could never be me. I can't disguise myself as a man. So during her time in the military, okay, she did get in like some skirmishes from here and there. You know, she actually did fight. She was scouting. There was one guy she was like serving for a while. Like, I don't know if she was like his like waiter. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, if you're like his like right hand.
Probably
do this for me, do that for me.
Yeah, well, it's probably like a general has like their servant.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she became that. But in June, she headed up an expedition, I think, with 2 sergeants, and they led like 30 soldiers into a raid on a loyalist home and captured like 15 loyalists. And she actually, during one battle, got shot in the thigh, and because she was worried about people finding out, she like dug it out herself out of her thigh and just kind of like went about her merry way.
Girl.
And I was listening to one where it said she got shot twice and she couldn't get one out, so she just left it in there for the remainder. But she like healed up and stuff. I know. And she like, once she tried to get out with like a penknife and like a needle or something like that, and she got one out. So she's like, that was like, apparently she feared that more than anything was like them discovering she was a woman, which I get.
Well, they probably make her go home and give the money back.
Yeah, like money. I kind of need that money.
Yeah.
So finally, she was found out though. Wah, wah, wah. But she kept her cover for about 17 months.
Oh, wow.
So that's pretty impressive, in my opinion. I don't know how you do that.
17 visitors.
17 visitors and still nothing.
And still was not found out. I mean,
during that time, I wonder, because like obviously things change with like diet and like time periods and things like that. I wonder if it was, you know, monthly all the time.
I'm sure it was.
I'm sure it was. But anyway, so
it's
sorry
biology.
Sorry guys for the biology if that's grossing you out, but it is what it is. Women have it.
Hey, this is about women.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming.
You knew. So she gets sick during an epidemic, okay, in Philadelphia. So she's taken to the hospital. She loses consciousness, okay? So obviously she can't do anything about that. Yeah. So they're taking care of her. The doctor discovers, Robert is not Robert.
Robert is Regina.
Right. Robert is a woman. So I think he like takes her home to his wife, and they can like privately tend her. So like, you know,
that's nice.
Yeah. So like that, you know, he keeps her like, you know, privacy, all that.
Yeah.
But he does send her back to the general. I don't think like in a nasty way, but with like a letter saying, hey, she's a woman.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this woman's been fighting, blah, blah, blah. So he does send her back to camp to her general with the letter. And she's like, okay, I know this is going to be like pretty much telling him. Mm-hmm. But come to find out, her general was actually not angry, but more surprised than anything. And
because she was so wonderful.
Yeah, because they had known her as a soldier, and she was actually like good. Like they were like, you have served so like faithfully and well. Yeah. So they gave her an actual honorable discharge. Like she couldn't stay in, but they gave her
discharge. And,
so she moved back to Massachusetts, and she was discharged in 1783. Which I think, when did the war end? It probably wasn't very long after that. I know.
Why are you asking me that question?
It must have been very soon after, I think, because at least then, like, you knew, oh, I did my part and the war's now over. Anyway, she moved back to Massachusetts, married, had children. However, she did receive some back pay because some of the time she wasn't paid for in the army, so she requested it, as well as like for a pension. So I think she was like the only woman to have like received any kind of pension, like as a soldier. Yeah, obviously.
Well, because they don't have women.
There wasn't
soldiers.
Women. And then like
it's only men.
And then also like her husband, like after she passed away, he was alive for a little bit longer, and he actually requested to like receive her pension because you're supposed to like receive it
your spouse
as a military spouse. And so I think he was the only one that it was granted to.
Yeah.
But then he like died before he got it.
Aww.
I know, kind of sad. But like,
did they not
he
give
was,
it
like,
to like the children?
I don't know what they did with it. I don't know if, I think they would like give it to the children. I hope so. I didn't find any mention of that. But before she died, she did actually go around lecturing for like a year about her time in the military. And she would like dress in her old uniform and like do the little like, what do you call those? Like where the formation, where they like do the gun stuff. Mm-hmm. So she would like do those and like people would like cheer and stuff like that. And she did publish a biography with an author, but it was kind of embellished, one might say. So like we do like, she obviously did like, she's actually like legit like, you know, went to battle and like dressed up as a man, but they're like, some of the stories are like kind of a little bit exaggerated. Like she didn't really fight in this battle because like some were like she fought in this really big battle and was like, no, she didn't. Like that didn't happen.
How do they know she didn't?
I don't know. Like lots of people apparently claimed at the time that like they fought in, what was that one battle? I don't remember, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess because they're like, here's a lot of these things with the women's stories. They're like, we don't know if this is true because there's no like concrete evidence, but at the same time, they weren't recording about the women.
Anything, yeah.
So like,
because women, they're just women.
Right. Like, so a lot of the stories we have is like, oh, their daughter passed it down, or their like family or their nephew, blah, blah, blah. And like would write about it. So it's like more orally. It's not like, oh, this is like, we have records of this. But like at the same time, like, of course you don't, because she wasn't even supposed to be there.
Yeah. First of all, she was supposed to be a he.
Yeah, she was.
She was not a he. And they were like deuces.
Yeah. They were like, Mulan? I can explain. Now I just want to know how she hit her period.
Now I do too.
I'm just like, what?
I do too.
I know. I said they said that she didn't say any other way that she hid her like
because I was like, maybe she was infertile, and then you were like, she had kids, and I was like, nope.
Yeah, no, she wasn't.
But
I don't know. And she was like 22, so she would very well have been like on her way.
What year was this? It was in the
1782 is when she entered the army.
I know they didn't have adhesive pads.
Thanks, AI.
Multiple layers of heavy petticoats and loose smock-like undergarments called shifts.
Okay, but how did she have that many that she can just switch out?
They used washable linen, flannel rags, or bog moss, which were secured in place with a simple sling or sanitary belts tied around the waist.
Did you say bog moss?
I did say bog moss.
Selena Bog Moss?
You shut your mouth right now.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Bog moss. I can't think of anything else. That has to be unsanitary, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Talk about an infection.
Yeah, for real. That's crazy. So, like, she was just, like, bundling up, like, layers of clothes. She said. Did you look up Revolution War?
Yeah, hang on. Women pretending to be men in 1782, like famous American Revolutionary War soldier Deborah Sampson.
That's her.
Disguised their periods by using improvised washable cloth pads. They bound these clouts or linen rags.
Clots?
Clots? Maybe. Or linen rags to their waist using belts or pins. They were also spared regular bleeding due to malnourishment.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, like if they bled as much.
Yeah, exhaustion and illness, which naturally suppress your visitor.
Your visitor. I love how you just keep saying visitor. I'm just like,
just
okay. Wow, we learned something today. I'm so glad we're not in that time period.
Yeah.
We have to. But bog moss.
Could you imagine someone like walking in on you doing that?
Yeah, that's the hard thing, and I think that was one thing that made it easier for her was when she like became the like servant to the general, because she was like less in the barracks. Like, because how do you do that?
That actually probably made it harder because she probably was more nourished then, and then
there's that.
Actually,
but, like,
got it.
She had more privacy, I think.
That's true.
Because like, what do you do? In the
middle of the night? Also like,
I guess your soldiers could just be bleeding.
That's true, but between your legs, just saying.
Sorry, guys.
But also like, here's my thing about it too is like, you don't really know exactly when it's gonna happen.
No.
Like you get surprised sometimes.
We get real surprised.
Especially if you're stressed and malnourished.
Stressed
And malnourished.
Maybe that's why I sometimes don't get it. Stressed.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But like, could you imagine like being like busy and not being able to get away and then being
a soldier?
Oh my god! What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
I guess you're thinking more about dying than anything, but still.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let me roll in some mud really quick, like.
I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah.
Bog moss it up.
Bog moss it up.
Okay. All right. Our second girl, we don't have a lot on her, but I wanted to recognize her because she is part of the Oneida Indian Nation, and that is their official name.
Okay.
Her name is Polly Cooper. I don't think that was her real name, but that's what she's always called.
Okay.
And they're actually the nation, the first Native American nation to ally with the American side in the war. I think France was like technically their first ally, but like this was the first like American people to ally with the people who were trying to become Americans, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So she helped save many of the soldiers' lives at Valley Forge, which is like the famous like George Washington and his troops freezing their butts off and dying in sickness and blah, blah, blah. What?
You said in sickness, and I was like, she forgot and in health. And then I was like, no, she didn't, Felina.
In sickness and in health. There was no health to be found in Valley Forge.
There was no health anywhere near. No health in sight.
No health in sight. And there's really not a lot of information about her, but she's very important because she's very sweet. No, she's very important. Wait, what did they say?
She can't even.
Oh, okay.
She can't even remember what she wrote.
It's 1777. I can't even read what I wrote.
Yeah.
It's the winter of 1777. Gosh. 1777 in Valley Forge. It was incredibly severe, as we know. Washington had stationed his army there. As we said, lack of supplies, disease, blah, blah, blah. The chief of the Oneida sent about, I think, 50 warriors, 47 warriors to Valley Forge to help them. But they also sent along Corn and Polly. Polly, I think, was the only woman to come at the time.
It's Corn.
It's Corn and Polly. They're the heroes. So she was an excellent cook, obviously. Knew medicine, you know, like
So she was sent as like a healer.
She was sent like, like go help these men, like stop coughing and stuff. You know, man colds.
Like Marshall.
Exactly. They traveled from Pennsylvania to New York on foot, about 400 miles. Okay.
Woo.
Bringing with them like hundreds. I don't know if it was baskets, bushels, whatever, of corn.
However they carried it.
Yes. Yeah. And the story goes, they were starving so much when they arrived that the soldiers were like immediately trying to eat the corn. And Polly's like, well, bro, stop. You can't. It's white corn. So apparently, I didn't know.
You have to cook it?
You have to cook it like a certain way. Like apparently, if you don't, it can kill you or something like that.
She was like, fine,
like,
eat it. I don't care.
No, she was like, hey, you can't do this. Like, we got to cook it this way. Apparently, you have to like wash it and like all this stuff. And they didn't know that. They were just like going to eat it because they were starving so much. So she goes and she like makes them, corn, but she makes them like soup out of it, bread, all this stuff. And that's very like nutritious and all that and hearty. So that really helped. And then she obviously started taking care of them with medicine. And then as she was leaving, after she took care of all of them, they wanted to pay her and she turned it down and was saying like, you know, friends don't
they help friends.
They help. You don't have to pay me. But then supposedly the women there and Martha Washington herself, supposedly in some of the stories, gifted her with a black shawl because of her help. And it was like she had seen this like shawl in like a window somewhere when they were all there, and she was like, oh, I really like it. Blah, blah, blah. And so then they like went and got it for her.
That's so nice.
I know.
Of them.
And apparently
they were girls.
They were girls. There's a 2026 Native American dollar with her likeness on it. 2026 this year. For the $50. And there she is with the corn. And
with
she's
the corn. She's literally holding up corn.
George. And that's George Washington.
Yeah.
But I thought that was cool. I know it's not like, it's the quiet heroes too that are important. And I feel like we don't hear about them. So that was one I wanted to.
Good old Polly.
But now we shall move on to Sybil Luddington.
Sybil. You know what that immediately reminded me of?
What?
Downton Abbey.
Sybil? Is that a name
Sybil.
in really?
Yeah.
I need to watch Downton Abbey.
You should.
I know, but Wes will never watch it with me.
You haven't watched Downton Abbey?
No, isn't that horrible? My family has.
Just come on over. Me and Marshall will watch it with you. Marshall
what do we force
enjoys
Wes? Force
him. We'll tie him to the couch.
Yeah, but you have to watch this.
You have to watch this until you finish it.
I think he may have seen some of it, but that's probably because his mom watched it when he was growing up.
Right.
So, Sybil Ludington. You know who Paul Revere is, Felina?
Yeah, that one guy who rode the horse.
Okay, good. Okay. The one guy who rode the horse. Okay, so she's dubbed the female Paul Revere. Oh. All right.
Sybil.
Sybil.
It's a lot cooler of a name.
It is. Sybil Ludington, though. Ludington's kind of funny.
Ludington.
But, so, obviously, Paul Revere, he ran on his horse on April 18th, 1775, to warn the Patriot armies that the British were coming.
The British are coming. The British are coming.
And this was like at the very beginning of the war.
Yeah. Because the British were coming.
Yeah, the British were coming. They were starting. They
weren't there yet.
Anyway, in 1777, a 16-year-old girl named Sybil Ludington.
Oh, she was 16?
She was only 16. Took up a very similar night ride on April 26th. And they were both in April. I think that's funny. To warn about the British having attacked the Patriot Supply Depot in Connecticut. And they were also setting parts of the town on fire. Now, as the story goes, historically, it's a more impressive ride than what Paul Revere did.
And yet, who do we hear about?
Right, Paul.
That's a criminal.
Paul
didn't do nothing.
Paul, good job. Obviously,
Paul just wrote. He said,
a cool story.
Do.
Exactly, through towns and such. Although her story is sometimes questioned, as we mentioned. The reason why it's questioned is because, one, there's no written record of it at the time of it happening, so no contemporary record. It was first published in 1880, which is 100 years after it happened. However, her family told the stories. There was this, I don't know who she was, but her name is Martha Lamb. She conducted interviews of her family, and they would tell her these stories. And she also wrote it. I think the story was written in 1854 by one of her nephews who told the story. Okay. So it's actual people
it's her
from
relatives
her family
passing down the story.
But they're it wasn't written down until 1880. So this is kind of questionable. And I'm like, okay, but
that's stupid.
Why would they make up something like that?
That's dumb.
After Paul Revere kind of did it too. Why would you do that?
They were Paul Revere, he got all the credit. I want some.
Right, and that's what it was he was writing oh, I would like my aunt recognized for blah, 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 that she did in blah, 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 or something like that. Yeah. So it was obviously a story he had heard from her.
Yeah.
I keep doing that.
She keeps losing her spot.
I keep losing my spot. Well, I sometimes I write down things that are not even necessary to say.
So you just decide not to say it.
So I decided not to say it, so I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Now, one night, as the ride goes, we must tell about the ride. The general showed up at their house saying, the town of Danbury, Connecticut is on fire. It's being burned to the ground. And Sybil's
father, the one that was the really big fire?
I think that was Boston.
Okay.
The Boston fire? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe.
Or the one that happened during the Revolution. Which one was it? Or are you talking about I think it was Boston.
Okay.
When they also did the Boston Tea Party, I think they burned parts of it.
Oh, did they?
I think.
I didn't know that.
Maybe. I could be making that up. That could just be because I watched John H. Tremaine growing up. And they looked like they had fires.
They had fires.
They had fires, so it must have been, it must be true.
So it has to be.
Exactly.
Sorry,
the Disney movie said it. It's true.
Yeah. Hollywood said it.
Exactly.
It's got to be real.
So her father is a general, okay? And that's why they're coming to her house hey, we need you to...
I was going to ask. I was why her house?
Why her house? Because he's a general. He has 400 soldiers in the area. However, they're farmers too, and it's their planting season, so they're dispersed. They're not just at his beck and call.
Farmers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're all out on their farms, and so he's well, shoot, my troops are all out on their farms right now. So he is what do I do? I can't leave, and so either she volunteers or is asked, will you go and mourn them? So she's yeah, dog, I got this.
She's I could do that in my sleep.
Exactly. So she rides out around 9 p.m. Okay. 40 miles through torrential downpour. First of all, and through territory where the loyalists roamed, which are people who supported the crown.
Okay. So she could have easily gotten in trouble.
Oh yeah. She carried a stick for protection, just a stick. And also,
stick.
probably like a good old like big stick, but still. But she was also using it to like knock on their houses and like their shutters to be like,
she didn't have to get off.
You know, like we need you and we need you to go to my father's, whatever. Yeah. You know, that sort of thing. Because they were all like rallying, like you need to be there by morning. You need to be there by morning, whatever. So where Paul Revere's ride was 12 miles long.
Hers was 40.
40. So hers was almost 3 times longer than his, right? Through rain, through the woods, and also Paul Revere was riding through the middle of town and had got caught during his ride. She does not. She does not.
She is more impressive.
Yeah.
Because she's a 16-year-old
girl.
She didn't get caught because she was a 16-year-old girl. So they
were like, whatever.
Okay, whatever.
What is she doing?
Yeah. She did have that going.
So in her defense, she had that going for her, which is great. Which is why some of the women in the revolution stepped up.
Should have been used a little bit more.
Yeah. They were not expected to fight. They weren't expected to even be smart.
Exactly.
Like they were like, well, you know,
they were like, can you read?
Can you read? What? Right. So they made it to, the soldiers all made it to Ludington's house in the morning to travel to Connecticut. Now, did they save Danbury? No, it was burned. But they were able to go and help like with other battles and things. Yeah. So Sybil finished the ride soon before the sun rose. Okay. And then she just goes on and lives her life. Her and her husband apparently owned a tavern together.
Oh, fun.
I know. And then after her husband died in 1799 of yellow fever, she raised their son alone. So... And he became a lawyer, and she even established her own tavern in 1803. So not only
she had 2
war
taverns?
hero, well, I don't know if she sold the other one,
okay,
or she was like running them both at once, but like her own one that she opened,
okay,
because her husband was gone.
Yeah.
So a business owner and a war hero. Boom.
Truly inspiring.
Truly inspiring. Rode longer than Paul Revere. And why don't we hear about her?
Well, you don't hear about her because she's a woman.
She's a woman. A 16-year-old girl.
Because it wasn't written down the day it happened.
Right. So it wasn't written down immediately. Of course it wasn't. No one was keeping records of what the women did.
No. It's annoying. It annoys me.
It annoys me too. And that's why like lots of people were like, well, I don't know if there were women doing it. I'm like, well, bro. Like that's probably why, because no one cared.
Yeah.
But there's lots of proof now, like with like, you know, way back in time, like Amazon warriors being women, you know, women having more power in Viking times. So just saying, it's out there.
The women, you know, they knew what's up.
They knew what's up. They're less rash than men. They think things through.
I will say this though, the 2 examples you give are no longer in existence. So
what do you mean?
Vikings and
oh, well, I meant like, way back in history, there are those women.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
If the Vikings were run by men, or, you know what
women.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, like they still wouldn't be around.
They would have been around.
They still would have.
They still would have. If women.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
What she said. I see what you're putting down.
Yeah.
All right, our next girl. Lydia Barrington, but really Lydia Dara.
Like Little Women.
Lydia Dara. Little Women. Pride and Prejudice?
Isn't there a Lydia in Little Women?
It's Joe, Meg, Amy, and Beth.
Beth is in Pride and Prejudice.
No. Beth is the one that dies in Little Women.
Beth is the one who like plays the piano in Pride and Prejudice.
That's Little Women. Lydia's the one that is the silly one in Pride and Prejudice, right? Girl, you should know this. Isn't Pride and Prejudice like one of your favorites?
Lydia and Kitty, but there's a Beth as well.
Oh, there might be a Beth as well.
So it's
but
the oldest.
Beth is
crap. What's her name?
Elizabeth.
No, it's the one before her. So there's.
What was her? I don't know.
The oldest one.
What is her name?
Who marries the one guy. And then there's Elizabeth, and then there's Beth, and then there's Kitty and Lydia.
Wow, I never
Lydia
remember Beth or Kitty.
Yeah. Kitty's the one who like is like,
well,
Beth
is it?
I go?
What? Yeah. The little.
Lydia's the one who married Dr. Wickham, Mr. Wickham, not Dr. Wickham. Mr. Wickham, who
the creepy one
was a soldier. No, that was her friend who married their cousin.
What? The potato?
Who was the priest?
The priest.
Yes.
Okay.
Who he proposed to Elizabeth. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She turns. Yeah. She's like, no.
And she's like, no.
No.
And then he goes and he proposes to the cousin. Or to her friend.
I think that's always weird when like someone's like, oh, I don't get you, so I'll go like marry one of your relatives. Like that's just weird.
It wasn't a relative. I misspoke. It was her friend.
Well, still.
She said, I'm 27 years old. I have no money and no prospects. I'm
right.
already a burden to my parents. And I'm frightened.
And I'm frightened.
The fact that anyways.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You can quote.
Okay, so Lydia is... She
was an Irish immigrant that was relocated to Philadelphia in 1753. Or
yes.
were you talking about the other? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. She was also a Quaker. If you know anything about Quakers,
They're
means...
weird.
Well, it perhaps, yes. Oats. Whoa. We want to talk about rabbit trail. Yes, but it means specifically that she was a pacifist. All Quakers were pacifists, okay? So you can imagine how well that played out in the Revolutionary War.
Not well.
But...
Oats.
Because of Oats... Because of her staunch distaste for tyranny, her staunch
that's a big
distaste for tyranny. Do you like that?
That's some very proper writing. I'm gonna need you to dumb it down
okay.
for me.
So she no likey tyranny. So
okay.
She had to shift some of her ideas. Okay, so being a Quaker means not being involved in any type of fighting, not even playing spy during the war.
Oh, you couldn't even do that.
You couldn't do that.
Weird.
Okay. It was considered against
spying.
the faith, the Quaker's faith. You love spying. Do you eavesdrop on people?
Oh, yeah.
She said, is that a challenge?
You said,
dude, we'll
go
at work.
dude, we'll go on a date and we won't speak because we're eavesdropping on everyone's conversations.
Apparently Wes says I stare. I'm like, what? You do too. And he's like, no, I don't. I look and then but he stares too.
He stares. I believe
he's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Felina. Mm-hmm. She was married. Lydia was.
Then how'd she become a woman of the Revolutionary War?
I'll tell you how.
She was already married.
What does that have to do with helping in the Revolutionary War?
Well, usually the husbands were out at war and the women were at home with the children.
Well, yeah, but just wait. Just wait till you hear about Nancy. She's our last girl.
Scandalous.
She's next.
Okay.
Oh,
I thought you were saying Nancy like there was like an affair.
Oh yes, there's an affair. No,
it's juicy.
No. I wish that would be quite interesting.
I wish there was an affair.
No, I mean, I don't want there to be affairs, but the goss is out there.
The juicy tea.
Exactly, the juicy tea.
Yeah.
She was married to one named William Darragh. Her former tutor, one might say.
Oh.
I know. So maybe it was a scandal. I don't know.
Scandalous.
Apparently, he was a family friend as well.
Was he
but I was
also
like,
a Quaker?
Yes, he actually is also a Quaker. Anyway, so she was obviously a mother. She became a mother, but she was a midwife, a nurse, etc. She was also very active in the community in Philadelphia. Okay, so people knew her, liked her, whatever.
Philly.
The British troops soon took over Philadelphia, which was kind of like the DC of America at the time.
Cool.
It was like the seat of government.
I was like, what's up with Philadelphia?
It was very important during that time.
Okay.
But they took the British troops took over a mansion that was like right across from the Darragh home. We're just gonna say Lydia's home because I don't want to. I'm not
Darragh.
sure if I'm saying that right.
William and Lydia.
Yes. Many of the Quakers at that time began to like kind of be like, I kind of think that we should back the colonies, like get out of English rule, and like that's a no. You know what I mean? Because they started to believe in the concept of liberty and stuff, but they're like, well, we can't really participate.
We're Quakers.
We are pacifists, so they don't believe in fighting. So like, what do? So one night,
you can't even take someone's side.
No, like they're supposed to be passive.
They're supposed to be Switzerland.
Yeah, they're supposed to be Switzerland.
That's so dumb.
So I know it's like you at least can think, hey, that side's better, more right. You think they would want to side with like the more moral one, you know what I mean? Anyway, one night the general tried to take the Lydia's home as well.
No.
For headquarters.
No.
And she's like, oh, but like, please, can we like, you can come in, you can have like, a room to like meet in, or like, they're like parlor or whatever. But like I have children here, like please don't kick us out, blah blah blah. And so they're like, okay, fine. But like while we're having this meeting, you all have to be in bed. Like you all have to go to bed early. You can't be here.
She spied, didn't she? She spied.
Oh, that
Lydia.
So she said, sure, I'll go to bed.
She said, but I can hear you from my bed.
Miss Lydia. Now she got a little nosy.
Of course.
So she does a little listening at the keyhole, one might say, during their meeting. I know. Lydia, the scandal.
You're abandoning
She's making
your roots.
me turn red.
Making me blush.
She's listening, okay, and she overhears, obviously, that they want to ambush White Marsh, which is where Washington was stationed with his troops, okay?
So then how'd she warn Washington?
Okay, so let me tell you. But also, one thing that probably turned her mind as well, was she was swayed in her stance, is that her son was also in the army. So her son, like, abandoned the Quaker faith and went into the army. So she's also dealing with, okay, what if my son's
my son's there?
There.
I need to protect him.
And I would do that, obviously. So the next day, she approaches the British officer, and she's like, hey, like, can I go, blah, blah, blah.
She's asking permission
to
leave?
No, because you have to ask permission because you're crossing the British lines. And it was like a common thing for civilians to do. Like, they were going to get, like, flour in the countryside in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
So she's like, I need to go get some flour to, make my food, blah, blah, blah. Can I go? And yada yada, and so they're like, yeah, whatever, fine, because it's
very
a common
bold
thing.
of him to approve that after they've had a meeting,
yeah,
about how they're gonna ambush.
Well, here's the thing: is like they're not thinking that a Quaker. That's the thing is, a woman Quaker is gonna be spying on them. So
true. Underestimated once again.
Right. That's why they were good spies.
For having a
the monthly visitor.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I caught myself though.
You did. We're gonna have to rate this one triple explicit.
I caught myself.
I know. I'm just kidding. So she goes and she's walking 6 miles in cold weather with hoisting a 28-pound bag of flour.
Oh,
I know.
Because she had to get flour to cover
she couldn't just go and then be like, oh, I forgot the flour. Just to tell one of Washington's officers, there's like a tavern there in the city that like is known as like being a patriot, like,
okay,
not like get together, but like,
yeah,
you know what I mean, like a outpost or something.
Yeah.
So she goes and she tells him, and he's like, I'll get the message to Washington.
But he doesn't because he's a man.
No, he does. So he does. So
just trying to make it more juicy.
And then he doesn't.
And
everyone dies. Exactly. So the troops, they all got, the British troops started marching. The next, I think it was like,
they're rocking
and rolling down to White Marsh. They're going to attack the Patriots.
Oh, girl, remix.
But they were surprised to find that Washington was not taken aback by their attack.
Oh! She's spitting bars.
All right. Sorry, guys. So all the troops, obviously, Washington's not surprised. We're like, what the heck? Why are you not surprised?
What the heck? Why are you prepared for us?
Right. Why are you waiting or whatever they were doing? So after some little skirmishes, the British general's like, okay, we gotta retreat because this is kind of crazy. We were expecting to take them by surprise. So they retreat. He goes back and questions her, and she's like, hey, like, that night that when we had the meeting, where are you guys all? Was there someone awake?
Yeah.
And she said no. Okay. But then I read another that was like lying is also against the Quakers, like, way. So she just didn't say anything.
Okay.
So she just didn't say anything. Like, yeah. So, but like that seems suspicious to me. But like, so one said like, oh, no, we were asleep. So I don't know which way she went, but like, I mean, staying quiet, like, is kind of like, I feel like
admitting it,
yeah. Unless she was just like, oh, I cannot get into the affairs of, soldiers, like, it's against my faith, or something. So they were buried in a Quaker cemetery when they both passed away, her and her husband, but they were kicked out of the Quaker order because of the help they provided to the army, which was literally just her.
So she literally had to tell them that she.
Yeah, I mean, I think they found out at some point, like, that had happened. I don't know if she told them. I'm not quite sure how they found out, but they found out.
Okay.
And so they were like, yeah, you're kicked out. And also because they started being like, but a lot of the Quakers at the time were kind of like, well, I think we should be like on their side. Yeah, exactly. Which was also against. You don't pick a side. You remain Switzy.
Stupid.
Switzerland.
I'm sorry if you're a Quaker and you're listening to this.
Yes. Quakers are kind of cool, though.
I don't know your ways. So maybe if you'd like to come on the podcast and talk to me about it.
Yeah. I don't know if there are as many Quakers as there used to be. All right, our last girl.
Okay.
You ready for her? Her name is Nancy Hart.
Nancy.
Now, Nancy lived from 1735 to 1830. So she lived a long time. She was like in her 90s.
She was, 1735 to 1830?
Maybe I wrote that down wrong.
She was 100 years old almost.
Almost, yeah, so like 95.
Holy cow.
Sometimes it's claimed that she was born around 1747. So like she would have been younger, but still old when she died. Because that's only like So she would have still been like in her 80s.
Math
So
is
either
hard.
way, math is hard. Her real name was Anne Morgan Hart, but she was known as Nancy. Apparently, Nancy is a nickname for Anne, and I don't know how, but that's what I was told in one of the articles.
It's like
Jim.
the one that's a nickname
Richard.
for Richard.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, like where did that come from? She was cousin to Daniel Morgan, who was a Revolutionary War general, which I feel like a lot of them were related at the time just because it wasn't as big of a country then, you know.
Everyone's related.
Everyone's related.
Kissing cousins.
I hope not. Kissing cousins. She was most likely born in North Carolina, although some say she was born in Pennsylvania. She relocated to South Carolina and later Georgia with her husband. So our story happens in Georgia.
Down
The
south.
good old peach. A good old peach. Now, she was in her 30s when she got married to her husband, which I thought was crazy, first of all, because one, that's kind of old for that time.
Yeah.
And then they had 8 children. Girl. After
At
you're
the
30.
geriatric age of 30?
I know. So, this woman, I don't know.
Was it that he had children from a previous marriage and then they had a couple of children?
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
We could look that up. Like, was it all her children?
Was it all her children, or was it at 30? I mean,
maybe I got the age wrong.
Well, because like, here's my thing about it too. If she had a kid every year, which would be impossible, but if she did have a kid every year, she would have been 38 with her last pregnancy. But really, she was probably more like 42 with her last pregnancy.
Yeah, unless she had some
back
twins
to
too.
Well, yeah.
When did she? It said she did. She had them with her husband Benjamin. So she at least I know that. When did? How old?
How old was she when she?
Old was Nancy Hart when she had her first child. Her birth is estimated between 1735 and 1747.
So
she was widely believed to have been in her late teens to her mid 30s when she had her firstborn. That's a large range, guys.
So I would say, yeah, she was in her late 20s to early 30s.
Yeah, when she started having these kids. 8 of them.
That's wild. Let's hope there was some twins.
Let's hope there was some twins, because that poor woman. But it was said that she supposedly might have worn the pants in the family. She was very much the head of the household, which was, first of all, unheard of at the time. In the first place. Mm-hmm. But I see why she is, because let's just talk about her a little bit, okay? She was dubbed Wahachi, meaning war woman, by the Cherokee that lived around her. She was 6 feet tall, had red hair, a muscular build. She was illiterate and supposedly cross-eyed and possibly scarred by smallpox on her face. So she was not a
ugly.
Beautiful woman. But she was
one of the ugly ones.
She was buff.
Yeah.
And like wiry and stuff.
And when I say ugly, I mean like by society
standards. I mean, yeah. She was cross-eyed, smallpox. Like,
scars.
There wasn't a lot helping her out, helping a woman out. But she had red hair. Red hair is very pretty.
And 8 children.
So as the war moved into Georgia, her husband went and fought in the Georgia militia. So, he was doing his thing, as we said, like they're out fighting. So she had to step in as protector of the home, obviously. She was a talented hunter. Yes. She was a herbalist.
Oh.
So she also was good with like the medicinal, like, the natural medicinal plants and all things around there. She was a great shot, which is crazy because she's a great shot even though she was cross-eyed. So I don't know how that works.
I forgot she was cross-eyed.
I know, but she was an amazing shot.
I'm an amazing shot, but I'm not cross-eyed.
Oh, are you an amazing shot?
I am.
Who says?
Literally everyone who's seen me shoot.
Wow.
They're like, wow, I catch him off guard.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I caught him off.
No.
I catch him off guard.
No,
she's, Annie Oakley, some might say.
Yes.
As the story goes, one of her kids spied a British soldier spying on their home.
Oh, she spotted
a British soldier spying on their home. It was very common for them to kind of watch her house because they already knew that she was kind of a revolutionist, I suppose.
America-leaning.
Yes, a patriotic patriot. So they're making soap. So they're like, boiling this huge pot of water. Okay.
They've turned 30. They've bought a house and quit their job and made a soap.
Exactly. Made a soap. Exactly. Well, you kind of had to make some soap. You kind of had to make soap at that time because where else are you getting it?
True.
Not Walmart.
True.
So they're boiling the water, and her daughter's like, hey, who, by the way, guess her daughter's name?
Sybil.
No,
Nancy.
Sybil. No, Nancy.
Anne. Mary.
No.
Amelia.
No.
Lydia.
No.
Elizabeth.
No.
Can I get a hint? Can I buy a vowel?
Someone in your someone in your household has this name.
Deanna.
No.
In my current household.
In your current household.
Darcy.
No.
Suki.
Suki.
Oh my gosh.
The girl's name is Suki, except it's spelled Sukey.
Yeah.
Suki. So Suki is helping her mom. Now I can't get out of
I
that.
love Suki.
Suki's helping her mom, and she's like, hey, Mom, this girl's like 12, I don't know. But she's like, there's an eyeball peeking through that crack right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
they were like up
They
in
were
that
like
house.
up in that. And then
Keeping
so
calm.
Nancy's like, okay. And so she takes the ladle and flings the boiling water onto the guy's eye. And he starts obviously screaming.
Right.
And they go up and they tie him up. And then they take him to like the Patriots
They
nearby.
said,
You're our prisoner.
Prisoner.
So-
That's the right word.
Right. You're our prisoner. So in other instances, she also played her part as a spy. She dressed herself as a man, a crazy
Again?
man.
Crazy
Yes.
man.
And would drift into the British camps and act like she was crazy, but then she would get information from them.
Right.
Because they thought she was just some crazy old man, and she would give it to the Patriots. Now, the biggest story goes that 6 British soldiers invaded her home, which they would do a lot of that time. They like confiscated people's homes to like house us or like,
Especially
feed
like
us.
as the line moved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Further in. But so they come in and they're like, we know you have information about this patriot that you possibly helped escape from the British. And she's like, don't know what you're talking about. Some stories say that he had come like right before that and she had like helped him. Some say it had been like
a few
days
weeks,
or something like that or whatever. But she acted like she didn't know anything about it. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So they get mad and they kill one of her turkeys.
I thought you were going to say children. I was like,
no. Oh, no. Oh, man. They would have been really in trouble. They kill one of her turkeys and they're like, cook this for us. Essentially, like, host us. So she's like, okay, fine. I'm going to cook it for you. I mean, she does cook it. She doesn't put. I know that when I said that, it made it sound like she poisoned them. No.
Anna.
So she said, sorry. I said, what I meant to say is she gladly acts like she's going to cook it for them and like host them, blah, blah, blah. And she's giving them like wine, kind of getting them a little silly juice. So she tells Suki, she's like, hey, Suki,
So weird.
I know, go outside to get some water. And wink, wink. And apparently they like kept a conch shell. I don't know where they got it from. Like those big shells.
Yeah.
And like
It's Georgia, right?
Yeah, I guess it's near the coast.
Yeah.
I don't know where in Georgia. I guess that they could have that from. I guess the coast.
Yeah.
True. So she goes outside and blows it. Apparently that's like a warning signal to their neighbors. And then Suki like kind of comes around back, and as the guys are getting more drunk, Nancy starts to like pass by and like pick up. They had piled their muskets, their guns in the corner, and she began like slipping out the guns to Suki like outside.
Yeah, Suki.
I know. And then finally like she has like 1 or 2 guns left, and they start to notice that she's doing this. And so they're all standing up and they're like, what are you doing? And she's like, if any of you move toward me, I'm going to shoot you.
Because she's got the gun.
And so one tries, she shoots him dead. Yeah. She's like, okay, I'm going to do it.
Nancy.
Another one tries to move. She shoots him. He gets hurt. So the other 4 are just like sitting there like, okay, I guess we're not going to move. So finally her daughter, like, because Suki gave the signal. Mm-hmm. Finally, her husband shows up with like some of the neighbors or whatever.
Her husband was at war though.
I know. I think like they were like
he was stationed nearby.
He was probably stationed. Yeah, because they were like they were still living on their farms and stuff, and they would be like rallied whenever they like needed to go. Because there was a lot of like I feel like in the Revolutionary War it was like a lot of like it wasn't like formation army like as we know it now. It was like, hey, you come and help, like what I mean. It was kind of everyone do their part. So he came. And some of their neighbors, and they're like, well, we should just shoot the rest of them. And Nancy's like, no, I want to hang them. So I know. So they decide to hang these 4 men from a tree nearby. Yeah, crazy. But later in life, I'll tell you that in a second. Later in life, after her husband passed away, she actually moved to Kentucky in Henderson County. So yeah, so she's actually buried here.
Henderson County?
Yeah. Where is that? I mean,
or Henderson, Kentucky.
Henderson County? Kentucky? I don't know where that is exactly.
Okay, carry on.
But she also converts to the Methodist doctrine after all of this. Like, after she does all this stuff, she decides to become a Methodist.
Interesting.
But here's the thing that some people are like, well, this story is like, there's like definitely some truth to it, because in 1912, there were excavations done in the area around her cabin, and there were 6 skeletons discovered that were in like a 3-foot grave with no coffins, and they were at least 100 years old. So there's definitely some credence to the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Henderson County. Okay, sorry, I had to look it up because
no, you're fine.
I have family in Henderson, Kentucky.
Oh, well, maybe it's.
And I was like, is this the same thing?
That would be crazy.
Henderson, Kentucky is within Henderson County.
Ah. So yeah, I don't know where. It didn't say specifically.
It's off the Ohio River, or along the Ohio River.
Okay.
By Indiana.
Ah. Okay. So yeah, that's the women of the Revolution.
Sorry, I was not paying attention. The dead bodies.
Oh, did you not hear that part?
No.
Okay, so in 1912, there were excavations done in the area, like near her cabin.
Uh-huh.
And there were 6 skeletons discovered, which was how many men there had been.
Yeah.
That were in a 3-foot grave, and they were at least 100 years old.
Oh.
So.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So that kind of.
Yeah.
They were like, well, there's some truth to this story.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's the women.
Yeah. So if you know women,
if you know a woman in your life,
women of historical importance,
yeah,
we would love to hear about it and do a topic on them or something like this if we have several. You can reach us at lattespodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook and Instagram under Lattes on My Mind, or you can visit our website lattespodcast.com. Or you can comment on any of our posts on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, or YouTube. And please do not forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, YouTube, or Facebook and Instagram so you can stay up to date with all the little tops.
Yeah. Also, I mean, if you have any family members that were in the war, that you've traced back that far,
and you know their stories and would like to share them, please do. We want to hear it.
We want to know what your family was up to in the 1700s.
And it doesn't matter if you're like, that wasn't that big of a deal. We want to hear it.
Yeah.
We want to hear it.
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
They made history.
Literally history.
Literally history.